Welcome back. One final point before we go tonight. Congressman Steve Scalise still in critical condition 2.5 days after being shot by a left-wing extremist, a lunatic who voted for Bernie Sanders, who hated Republicans and who thought Trump was evil. It was political violence, a hate crime committed against Republicans because they are Republicans. And now Democrats are blaming Sarah Palin. You cannot make this stuff up. The New York Times, which used to be the beacon of journalism, has now devolved into a pathetic puppet of the left. They used their editorial board to push a conspiracy theory, a malicious conspiracy theory. Listen, this is what they wrote. Was this attack evidence of how vicious American politics has become? Probably. In 2011, when Jared Lee Loughner opened fire in a supermarket parking lot, grievously wounding Representative Gabby Giffords and killing 6 people, including a 9-year-old girl, the link to political incitement was clear. Before the shooting, Sarah Palin's Political Action Committee circulated a map of targeted electoral districts that put Ms. Giffords and 19 other Democrats under stylized crosshairs. Conservatives and right-wing media were quick on Wednesday to demand forceful condemnation of hate speech and crimes by anti-Trump liberals. They're right. Though there's no sign of incitement as direct as in the Giffords attack, liberals should of course hold themselves to the same standard of decency that they ask of the right. Well, first of all, Jared Loughner was a paranoid schizophrenic. His political ideology was illogical. It was all over the map. He was a stalker, obsessed with Gabby Giffords for 3 years before his attack. There is no proof whatsoever that he ever even saw the meme Sarah Palin posted on social media, let alone proof that the meme inspired him to shoot Congresswoman Giffords. That nasty narrative was debunked years ago, and the New York Times knows it. This editorial, by the way, it comes just days after the New York Times refused to pull their financial support from the New York Public Theater in the wake of that play where Trump was stabbed to death at the end. This assassination porn coming from the left, the justification of political violence when the perpetrator's progressive and the target is an evil Republican, it's time to stop that. Glorifying the mock beheading of President Trump, that's got to stop. Using taxpayer money to fund a play in which President Trump is stabbed to death, it's got to stop. Holding up killers like Women's March organizer Razmea O'Day and cop killer Assata Shakur as inspiration for Black Lives Matter, it's time to stop. Rioting in the street, throwing rocks at law enforcement and sucker-punching Trump supporters, vandalizing college campuses, burning down businesses, looting stores, setting fire to cars, and condemning your political opponents to hell just because you vote differently than they do, it's time to stop. Progressive liberal Democrats, the party of tolerance, the party of peace, the party who claims to stand up for the little man, they would rather blame Republicans for an attack on Republicans than take any of the responsibility for the vitriolic rhetoric and doomsday fear-mongering they've been peddling since the first day of the Republican primary last year. Democrats are the quickest to justify violence from their own party and just blame it on Republicans. This is why left-wing violence is so common. The left doesn't excoriate violence from their party, they just brush it under the rug where it festers and feeds on itself until not so infrequently it erupts and people are hurt. Next time, New York Times, get your facts straight or you're part of the problem and the blood is on your hands too. And I'm no lawyer here, but I think Governor Palin might have grounds to sue you for libel since you're lying, assassinating her character, and it's pretty clearly malicious. And that's my final point tonight. You can reach me on Twitter at Liz_Wheeler. If you liked the show, please send me an email at oann.com/contact. In the meantime, catch us here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, and until then, have a good night.